Wisconsin man arrested for disorderly conduct, obstructing deputies in Pliet. Reports that Aaron Peterson, 38, was apprehended February 6th while attempting to break into a locked room inside St. Mary's Catholic Church, demanding to speak with a priest. When Grant County Sheriff's Office deputies entered the scene, Peterson was shouting profanities.
Concerning the coming of Christ and our being gathered to him, do not become unsettled or alarmed by the teaching that the day of the Lord has already come. Don't let anyone deceive you in any way, for that day will not come until the rebellion occurs and the man of lawlessness is revealed.
I, Jesus Christ Almighty,
to destruction. He will oppose and will exalt himself over everything that is called God or is worshipped.
So how'd you end up here today?
So that he sets himself up in God's temple, proclaiming himself to be God. Don't you remember that when I was with you, I used to tell you these things, and now you know what is holding him back, so that he may be revealed at the proper time. For the secret power of lawlessness is already at work, but the one who now holds it back will continue to do so till he is taken out of the way. And then the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord Jesus will overthrow with the breath of his mouth and destroy by the splendor of his coming. The coming of the lawless one will be in accordance with how Satan works. He will use all sorts of displays of power through signs and wonders that serve the lie, and all the ways that wickedness deceives those who are perishing. They perish because they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion so that they will believe the lie, and so that all will be condemned who have not believed the truth, but have delighted in wickedness.
Hello, my friends. Jacob's here one more time, and thank you all for pressing the play button. In the land right now, we are seeing so many supernatural things happening. It's almost like the books of the Bible are coming to life.
Some breaking news that has come to us in the last minute or so from Buckingham Palace. His Majesty the King has today initiated a formal process to remove the style, titles and honours of Prince Andrew.
In fact, the one that we've been talking about a lot recently is the Book of Revelation. If you didn't see my last show, this was something that I had talked about the bottomless pit opening up and then the beast coming out. That beast, which we know by now, symbolizes a little bit more. But as I was talking about this, and as I explained that the man that stands in the temple of God declaring himself to be God has to be revealed, that Antichrist spirit that's within us all needs to be revealed in the literal earth. Yesterday, a viral video of a man named Aaron Peterson who stormed into St. Mary's Church and was acting out and ripping the crucifix down and falling backward again and again and again. He ended up being arrested and taken out in handcuffs, and we found out that he was mentally ill. But the fact remains, there was a very strong symbol that was happening in that church. The man was claiming that he was Jesus Christ. He was acting as if he was God himself, and he had to be removed. And he was.
On Long Island, Suffolk County is taking a new approach to tackling the mental health crisis. The county executive launched its first of its kind mental health response program, which aims to change how emergencies are handled and how help quickly arrives.
And this is the story that I'm seeing in the land today. While we have shows like Welcome to Derry, who #1 hit season on HBO, which dives into the origins of Pennywise, that murderous, beastly Antichrist clown in the novel It, which in psychology would be known as the id. In psychology, you have the ego, the superego, and the id, which is a symbol of that angel on your shoulder and the devil on your shoulder, which isn't too far-fetched because it's really about two men. It's about the man that's in the earth, the carnal, fleshly, bestial man, the manly man, and it's about the one that's in heaven above. The two that we are told a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways to avoid. In Latin, the id, it means it. Literally, right now in the land, we are seeing the picture of the beast being revealed, from the man in the church to Prince Andrew, who has just been stripped of all of his royal titles. The king, his brother, another picture that we have for us here. The man was lustful, hateful. He did horrible things, and now he's been stripped of all of his royal garments. That's today's news. Andrew, the name means manly. It's a picture of the flesh. It's a picture of what God is doing in the land today. There is a work that is being done. There's a picture of what's being done in the land today. The flood that we just had, which is being called, by the way, the storm of the century, reports are saying that it was hell at 185 miles per hour.
Yeah, Jamaica is a disaster right now, so we just have to pray up for the best and the good.
Prayer is the most important thing during the storm of the century. But what was odd was that it was trending with Sybil. Farewell, Sybil. Sybil was the actress from the sitcom Fawlty Towers, the English comedy. Fawlty Towers, putting your faith in the flesh. Sybil was also a movie about a woman who suffered abuse and had multiple personalities. This is what's coming to an end. The double-minded man that is unstable in all his ways is coming to an end. God abolishes in his flesh the enmity to make one new person of himself in you, making peace, banishing that Antichrist spirit. But for that to happen, he first must be revealed.
Jesus Christ Almighty.
Hell is actually cast in the lake of fire in the end, but hell is a place of correction, if you will. In 185 in the Strong's Concordance, that's like a book where you take words in the Bible and you attach them to numbers. The number 185, well, in Greek it means purity, to be pure, to be holy. And in Hebrew it means to be lustful, the lustful man. And here we have a picture of the lustful carnal man and the spiritual man, the bestial man being revealed. And there's nothing more bestial than seeing Heidi Klum revealing her latest look, or the fact that all the talk is about the Great Gatsby party that President Donald Trump just had, which cost millions of dollars. Meanwhile, we have so many people on benefits losing their food, which is interesting because this is something that I said years ago was coming. The Gilded Age. Not the Golden Age, but the Gilded Age, a time when there was great wealth in the midst of great disparity, where people were poorer than ever before and could barely make ends meet. This is ironic because this is what they're saying. But the day that we're in today is going to be good for some and bad for others. Gilded Age. Gilded Age excess. That means that excess was on display at the 2022 Met Gala. What's the Gilded Age, right? Nobody does the research. I want to explain all this to you. I don't want you to just focus on the Met Gala and just be like, oh, Kim Kardashian, she was dressed up like Marilyn Monroe. Gilded Age was the most significant wealth inequality in all of history. And here we are again. I wonder why that is. You got to shut down your business unless you're Walmart or an Amazon. You got to go out of business. You got to put in this. You got to do that. Everybody lost their jobs. You got to get the wackadoo. A lot of money left from the pockets of those who work hard, who came into the world with nothing, little slaves. Little slaves. You're given your little number, little social security number. We gave you this much. During the Gilded Age, newly emancipated black people, for the white tie event, nothing sus there though, right? Millions of new immigrants faced brutal conditions working in factories and on railroads. The Golden Age, before anybody was talking about the Golden Age, I did a show about the Gilded Age. The Gilded Age was like the Industrial Revolution, and it was a time of great change, and things really just took off for our country. But you know what else happened? Child labor, right? No more 8-hour days. That's the SNAP benefits. They wear out completely. Now this is odd because this could end up bringing out the worst in people. And that's kind of what I've been worried about. This zombie apocalypse, if you will. People following after the crowd, not listening to the truth of God, not doing the right thing. But this is the way it is today. Donald Trump has just, set forth the use of National Guards in pretty much every city. They're being trained right now for riotous behavior. And, well, what makes people more riotous than being hungry? My last show, I talked about how important it is for us to reach out, especially now. But it's interesting because this storm of the century that I posted about last year, after the U.S. debt clock put out a little weird thing about Roanoke, which is connected to another Stephen King scary movie called The Storm of the Century, where a man comes into town to bring judgment, and he raptures people away. I did this video not too long ago, and now everyone is calling this the storm of the century. As if right now, in the land, we are seeing the wickedness being revealed. Justin Bieber, while dressed, looking very much like a phallic symbol, he told everybody that, to look at another woman or another man with lust in your heart, this is what Jesus said, that you've committed adultery. And then the very next day, the Twitter feed, the X feed, was just awash with Sydney Sweeney's chest, which could be seen through her gown. I never understand why these actresses, these talented actresses, who have the whole world, why they would demean themselves and do such a thing. But this is the world we live in, So what are you going to choose? One day you're told, hey, if you look at somebody with lust in your eye, you're in trouble. The next day, all they do is give you pictures that would provoke such lust. But we're not of the night, my friends. We should be overtaken by darkness when this day of the Lord comes. We know that when they say peace and safety, that in an instant everything could change. Everything is changing. I don't know if you've noticed.
Now, brothers and sisters, about times and dates we do not need to write to you, for you know very well that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. While people are saying peace and safety, destruction will come on them suddenly as labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. But you, brothers and sisters, are not in darkness, so that this day should surprise you like a thief.
And the good news is, I see it changing for the better, because I see the carnal man I see the manly man being stripped of his garments and being given new clothes.
We do not belong to the night or to the darkness. So then let us not be like others who are asleep.
I see hope. I feel hope. And I know a lot of people right now are going to, well, they're going to probably be a little scared in the days to come if things get out of control. I'm hoping that today or tomorrow that something happens, that some needs are met, so that we don't have to allow people to lose it, to snap, like my last video.
For God did not appoint us to suffer wrath, but to receive salvation through our Lord Jesus Christ. He died for us so that whether we are awake or asleep, we may live together with Him. Therefore encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing.
I feel like there's something in the air, and I really do feel like all hell has been released into the world so that it can be dealt with. So do right, don't do wrong, because the battle is within. It's never about what's without. What I'm seeing is a good thing, because when the beast is revealed, and you know who the enemy is, and you know that the enemy is within you, making you think the wrong thing, you can cast that sucker out. You can tear that sucker down, and you can say, "Be gone. Get behind me, Satan." And then you can actually live a much better life. All right, listen, I got to go to work. Thanks for coming to me on my drive, coming to you from my soul. And I hope you have the best day ever. Please do me a favor. Please do like, share, subscribe. Do the things that you got to do. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.